What up, Lorenzo? Gotta turn off Destiny music quick. All the time in the world. Naughty gang, 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 gang. What's up, James Brown? Get on down, Mr. James Brown. Dim is down right now, right, chat? Dim is down. Unable to load, yeah. All right, so I gotta get my guns off my warlock. I'm gonna plug in my controller and play some hunter. Double check something. Yeah. You guys hear music, right? Morning, Mauricio. ¿Cómo le vas? Las cosas.
The barter is warranted.
Yes, sir. Okay. Grab that, grab this. I'm so sad about what they're doing to powerful friends. They're making it so it only stacks once. Feels fucking bad, boys. I'm definitely gonna run the other mod though. The mod that gives you plus 20 strength. I'm definitely gonna run that on my hunter build. I also need void stompies. Is Zer still here? Is Zer still here, chat? Where's Zer? Yeah, he is still here. He's on Titan at the rig. Okay. Let me go hit up Zer real quick. It's crazy. Zer is here on a fucking Tuesday. It's crazy. Doesn't make any sense. Because I need void stompies. Don't know why I have these here, but I need void stompies. Oh, actually, I don't use stompies when I do this. I use worm husk. But don't actually need it. Oh, no, 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 no. Those boots. I need those boots. Where'd those boots go? No, 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 no. Back up. Go full sniper build. Remedy. Okay, Zer, did I grab my guns? I did grab my guns. I didn't grab a heavy. Zer is on Titan at the rig. Think LeBron can win the league for the Lakers? Win the league? I have no idea, man. It all depends on how everybody comes back from the break. I don't think anyone enjoyed the season, Dylan. The season, 60% of the player base stopped playing, so I don't think anybody enjoyed this season. Majority of people who were playing the season at the beginning are not playing currently. Are these solar? No, they're void. Gonna go see Zer real quick. Why am I in a lobby with a guy from China? Kinda weird, not gonna lie. Morning, Dinklebot. Oh, he's selling stompies. Ah, but they're arc. Gemini adjusters. Solar. Okay, we're gonna plug in the DualShock. DualShock is plugged in. We are clear to engage. Targeting adjuster now that we're playing on a controller. I fucks with it. Hunter looks good. Hunter is looking splendiferous. Weird being in a lobby with Asians when you're in the Northeast. Yeah, for sure. I live in New York City. Why am I in a lobby with China? What do you think about? I already said that. What shader are you running? Shader? Honors of the Nine. Sent you a DM about a recluse recov yesterday. My Twitter handle is Sun Goku. Okay, James, if you could DM me on Discord as well, I'd probably get to it a lot quicker. DM me on Discord, exclamation point Discord for my Discord. Oh. Why is this so bouncy? I'm trying to use this fucking controller, but my controller's broken. I'm waiting on my new one. Bum, 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 bum. Why aren't you playing on PC? Ah, yes, because PC players can't use controllers, right? Brother. What the fuck did I just read, brother? You guys holding hands. It's all good. It's quick play. I'm just trying to go for clips. At first, the matchmaking algorithm is going to fuck me because it thinks I'm playing on mouse and keyboard, so it's putting really bad players on my team so that I can carry them, but algorithm will eventually catch up. It'll see that my individual performance isn't matching my mouse and keyboard performance. And when it sees that, it'll stop putting every single bad player on my team. Because right now the game is matchmaking me based off my mouse and keyboard stats. Like my mouse and keyboard stats indicate that I could have played really, really well last game with a hand cannon shotty, but I'm not playing Destiny to carry people to free wins. You know, I'm playing it to enjoy myself. So plugged in my controller, going for some snipe clips. That is what I'm doing for the day. Bungie's matchmaking is honestly hurting their game, but nobody will tell them that. Nobody in the office will tell them that, that's for sure. Hey guys, you ever think people don't play Crucible because our matchmaking algorithm is really bad? I mean, I don't know, like, I personally would not want to play Crucible if every game I have to get 40 kills to win, you know? Yeah, but what if you didn't care about winning? I mean, yeah, I guess that's a good point, but like, who wants to lose all day? That's what we're here for, man. We're here to make everyone lose all day. Ah, okay. Yeah, anytime I'm playing 6v6, I'm going for clips. So the controller is plugged in. I wish I would have brought my Suros over. Suros kind of rips on controller, not gonna lie. Also feel like my monitor is really far. Morning, Sal. What's up, Milana? Where am I from? New York City. Where are you from? Where are you from, my brother? That's all we use on console. Suros. Yeah. Suros, Summoner, Hardlight. As a controller player, only real advantage we have is with snipers. You forgot assault rifles. The major sandbox changes come out today? I don't know, to be honest with you. Ah, yes, Dune Marchers. ARs are really good on mouse and keyboard. I mean, kind of. I'm just saying, like, controllers have advantage because of how easy it is. Like, ARs are good on mouse and keyboard because ARs are good. I'm talking about ease of use. Ooh. ready. Thing ran out right when I fucking pressed left click. Can you guys tell about Trapstar? Can you guys tell? 861 brand new account. What's up, Blazing? You seen it the last time you killed me? Yeah. Might be this Resley guy too. Could have been a kill. Stop! Get away! I'm stuck in the tree! It's very easy for me to see that Trapstar is cheating, but probably wouldn't be easy to see for people who are like average gamers. There's a lot of chaos that goes on in 6v6. That's how people hide it. That's how people hide it. See me through the wall. That's not why he's not moving. He's looking at me through the wall. That's why he's not moving. I'm pretty sure the other team has a couple cheaters. Oh, LZ, 100%. I personally know a streamer who averages 300 to 400 viewers on Twitch who uses walls. Getting shot in the back.
Eliminated. Nice work.
Really? I mean, I feel like every day there's somebody else getting exposed on Twitch using cheats. Feels like every day. Belosha, morning's going well. How are you? How's your morning starting, baby? Zero expectations of this coming season. Build your own expectations. Fuck. Morning, Landry. Did you guys hear about my announcement this fall? I'm gonna be enrolling back into school. I'm gonna be looking to get my BSN, Bachelor's in Science of Nursing. I already have a bachelor's in business, so I already have my bachelor's in business administration, so I'm not gonna need to do the prerequisites, like the associate's degree prerequisites for my BSN, which means I can jump right into my major. Good luck. It can be rough. I don't think it'll be rough, man. LMG. Yeah, I don't think people understand, like, I got my associate's degree when I was 15, and I got my bachelor's degree when I was 20. Or I got my associate's degree when I was 17. I got my bachelor's when I was 20. you know, studying and stuff isn't necessarily difficult for me. So, like, it's never a curriculum issue for me. I don't have difficulty with classes. I don't really have difficulty with school. I never have. There was never a time in my life where I studied, or where I struggled with school. I've always been ahead of the curve in school. Bum, bum. Kind of weird. How long do you think that'll take? How long do I think what will take? Getting your second degree? 16 to 18 months.
The enemy has gained ground. 5 minutes remaining.
The reveal will be on my channel. I'm using a controller for now. This is the aimbotter. This guy's been aimbotting all game.
Well done.
The Sueño guy been aimbotting all game. What's up, John? The new raid comes in September. It's not coming this season. Season 13 is when a bunch of new stuff comes to the game. Season 13 is new raid. Season 13 is new trials armor. Season 13 is a couple things. Apparently vendor refresh comes in season 13. Season 13 is the big season. Season 11 and 12. 11 is supposed to be coming up now. So 11 is today. But season 11 and 12 are supposed to be just burner seasons. Like, you're not gonna have much from them. I can't aim. I can't aim with this controller.
You can accept this loss, or you can fight again and reclaim your glory.
When the sunsetting happened, I think season 13. Don't quote me on that. Controller's not being recognized. Controller are you using? A PS4 DualShock. I want to play Destiny again so bad, but I refuse to until cheating is dealt with. LOL. Gonna be waiting for a while, man. I don't have my Control Freak alphas. I don't know where they are. This might be them. Oh, nice. I just found the Control Freak alpha. Sick. If any new exotics will come out today, also a new raid. Well, they're probably going to release new exotics for next season, yeah. I hate Xbox controller for sniping B-Crow. I fucking hate it, man. I prefer PS4 controller over Xbox because of the stick tension. Oh shit! Don't let me do that to you, bro. I just made you my hoe. Damn, son. Morning, Gerald. Better run, pussy.
This is wonderful.
Stop going back and forth and just fight! Guy is such a fucking pussy, dude. Such a fucking pussy. He's mad because I montage clipped the fuck out of him first fucking kill of the game. Wish sniped me. Soft ass. Okay, for sure, dude. Okay. My issue with Battle Beaver is their response time is so slow. Couldn't even see that guy. This guy's a 1042. Holy shit, do you go outside, dude? Do you know what the fucking sun looks like? Man's skin is fucking transparent. Oh, he's a mouse and keyboard. I promise you, this guy's cheating. I promise you. Promise. Promise you. What loadout would I use to carry 2 complete bots? Top tree, Dawnblade. The movement gap, like the movement skill gap, is completely different. You make me take my clothes off and go dancing in the rain. Aimbot. He won't miss. It's an aimbot. I don't think Zero's cheating because I've killed him quite a few times. But this hitting rain guy, 100% aimbotting. 100% aimbotting. 1,000,000% aimbotting. In the middle of the game and you're on a hunter, what's the best class? Probably Spectral Blade. Use wall hacks. Spectral walls are still not bad. Hey, thank you, B-Crow. I can't turn fast enough on the sensitivity. I go up to 6. They're so slow. Ooh. Oh, there's too many people. Aim assist is acting up. The guy came around the corner, hard scoped on me. Huh. Okay. The guy wasn't using controller and mouse. He was using a Zim 4. Oh yes, he was cheating. No! I couldn't drag it up to his head fast enough. Zim 4 allows you to have a mouse and keyboard input with a controller, aim assist. If you think that's remotely fair, you're a fucking idiot. Oh, that should have been ahead. flinch, man. I don't have any unflinching perks. Oh, I do. What the fuck? It just wasn't working. Okay, that's cool. Maybe I go enhanced unflinching instead of hand cannon, or do I not have enhanced? That right click or the right thumbstick pull RT should have definitely killed. Get fucked, idiot. Let me see if I have enhanced unflinching. I don't have enhanced unflinching. That's why I don't have it on.
Good work, Guardian. Your light is strong.
Why the sticks? Sometimes I like to take a break on my wrists and stuff than using mouse and keyboard. Mouse and keyboard is pretty hard on the wrist, so. I am dropping weight, yeah, BMW. I've been losing weight consistently for the past 4 weeks. I think I'm down like 20 pounds. Thank you for noticing. No one has noticed at all. I'm trying to get in shape for, it's gonna sound weird, but I'm trying to get in shape for school. I don't want to go to school and be like this obese dude that's there. So I have until the fall to get myself looking good, because the better I look, the better I feel. The better I look, the better I feel, the better I work, the better I study, the better I perform in tests, the better I perform in class, the better I perform around people, the better I feel. Yeah, mentality has a lot to do with everything you do in life. If you go into life doing something timid, unsure, scared, I promise you, you will not do that to your best of your ability. And I know that when I was in college, last time I was in college, when I was getting my business degree, I was in the best shape of my life. And I think that had a lot to do with why my grades are so good. I wasn't afraid to get in front of class and present. I wasn't afraid to talk in front of the stock marketing team. I wasn't afraid to be the president of our investing team. I wasn't afraid because I looked good. I felt good. I had the confidence to do it. If you're fat and unsure of yourself and you feel like your shirt's sticking to your titties and you're not comfortable with the clothes you're wearing, you're not gonna perform how you're supposed to perform. You're not gonna be yourself. You're not gonna exude the confidence that is, you know, needed in those types of environments. So My shoe game has always been on point, man. Sitting next to six easy 350 boxes. Dude, this Scooby guy, last game as well, doesn't seem to miss headshots. What pair do I use the most? I try not to wear them too often. I have like a beat up pair of Nikes that I use often to keep my sneakers fresh. My bullet went straight through that guy's head. If I could pick one or two, probably my breads or my linens. Scooby with the headshot. I'm telling you, this guy is bullshit. This guy is complete bullshit. 987 light, just all headers, all fucking game. Like back-to-back games, he's all headshots. Get out of here, kid. Guy hasn't missed a fucking headshot since I don't know when. Fuck off. The reason why I didn't work there, his aimbot didn't work there, because there was multiple of us standing on top of each other. Wake up, baby. You got red boxes on your screen. I fucking quickscope that kid. Holy shit. This guy said New Balance is life. I don't even think as a kid I used to wear New Balances. It's definitely old people shit. Scooby. you fuck? Tried to jump over him. Man's just ate a shot for the enemy. Dog, which team are you on? Weird play. Why didn't I see this guy? What the fuck? Oh, you are fucking upset, bro. You are genuinely angry. You are fucking mad. Holy shit. Oh, you're even more upset. You just spawned. Couldn't even get out the spawn, bro. How was college? Was there anything you didn't like? A lot of the people in my college were fake as fuck. I remember we had this kid we went to school with. His name was Jimmy. And he was always like, he was a white dude on the football team. He was always down with everybody. He was down with everybody. Like he was cool with everybody. But in our senior year, in our final year when we were graduating, I remember it was like the last week of school. No one was really doing any work. You know, there wasn't really any assignments to turn in. If you did your finals, you were just kind of done hanging out on campus with everybody. And we were drinking in our dorms. And this guy drops the N-bomb. And it was like, it was very symbolic for me of like people who you think are cool peoples, and then they drop the N-bomb and you're like, yo, dog, you're white. Come on, man. Like, he got too comfortable. I think he thought because he hung around all of us, he kind of had like a pass. Nah, bruh. Nah, bruh. It was just very symbolic of relationships I had in college. I'll tell you guys right now. College is about connections. I want to make as many connections as possible. That doesn't mean as many friends as possible. That means connections. You want people to know you for being really good at something, so that if anything in life ever comes back up, you can hit them up. I had a friend of mine. Actually, I'm gonna rescind those last 7 words. I knew a guy named Connor in college, and he was the class clown. He used to make fun of everybody. He was the pretty boy. He was light skinned. He had light eyes. He had nice hair. He was tall. He was muscular. He had a good smile. Everybody liked him. Everybody was cool with him. He would make fun of everybody who wasn't perfect like him. He had a girlfriend who had a lot of money and would buy him $1,000 watches. He didn't have the highest GPA. He didn't have the highest GPA. So I remember him for being that guy. I remember him for being that asshole who just made fun of everybody for no reason. The guy who was the class clown, the guy who you didn't want on your project team in business. He was in the business school. He was the guy you didn't want on your team because you knew if he was on your team in business projects, he wasn't going to do much work, but he was going to take credit for all of it. So when I first started streaming Destiny 1 and I was getting big and I was blowing up and I was making a lot of money, I got a fucking phone call from the guy. I didn't know it was him because I didn't have his number in my phone, so I just ignored it. But I got a phone call and he leaves me a voicemail and he's like, "Hey man, I'm a financial advisor. I was just wondering if you were looking to have somebody look after your money to make sure it's all going to the right place, blah, blah, blah." And I wholeheartedly believe in my heart and everything in my being that if he was a nice person to me, I probably would have hired him. I probably would have been like, you know what? Yeah, please do look after my money. Make sure we're not overspending on the budget, blah, blah, blah. I probably would have taken the advice. But because he was an asshole, he missed out on a check from me. It was just a good lesson. It was just a good lesson, like good lesson. Gotta make connections. You gotta make sure people like who you are.
Control.
What's up, Easy XP? What's up, Zako?
To you now. Take the zone.
Wow. A man is playing from the fucking mud huts of Uganda. I'm good. Go ahead and back out of this lobby. I'm good, man.
Keep the pressure on.
The Bungie reveal is in 20 minutes, guys. The Bungie reveal is in 20 minutes. We will be streaming the reveal on our channel. Bronda. Facts. Thank you, Legends. Going back to school is gonna be the best decision of my life. I know that for a fact. It's gonna be the best decision of my life. What's up, Marsh?
Control.
Sorry, I wish it was me lagging. Cool, man. Stop stream sniping me.
Can you hold territory?
What are you going back to study? Nursing. Yeah, I already have my bachelor's in business. I'm not going to school for business. Who peeks like that? What the fuck? Why is it so hard to hit a shade step with a controller? What the fuck?
I don't. I love them. You're in the lead. Zone B lost. Zone A captured. You have advantage.
Thought that guy died, but he had high resilience.
Lost the lead.
Unga Unga. Shotgun ape. Unga Unga. I don't have Icarus on. I remember the last time I slid under a... Like, what are these fucking lobbies, bro? What is the connection in this lobby? Like, every fucking lobby I'm playing with people from Uganda. So whack. Yes, the reveal will be on my stream. Really weird place to be hardscope, Tuesday. No prior knowledge to my existence. Bro, what a shot I just hit on Dolo. Holy fuck. I got sandwiches. Atomic, thank you very much for the 777. He said sevens for Bungo. Philip Donegal, boys and girls. Thank you, Atomic. Solid. Pause. Bungie, Twitch. Next pair of shoes I'm gonna get. I'm not looking at buying shoes for a while. I studied every day in college. I'll never understand people who don't like studying for school. Like, the whole point of going to school is to learn, right? You're trying to better yourself as a human being so that you can be a better asset for the real world, for the outside world, because the more of an asset you are to the outside world, the more financially capable you will be, right? The smarter you are, the more you know, the better of a help you are to companies, the more likely you are to get paid well. So if you're going to school to learn
from all the folks that you
go fucking study, you know what I mean?
Like a family.
This is a company that talks about its people first. It talks about values. It talks about really, really caring. That is true.
When you look at the number of things we were able to accomplish in a pretty short period of time, it's a testament to all the skills and passion at all levels of the company.
The first case of a new potentially deadly virus has been confirmed in the United States, and it's right in our own backyard.
Given the explosion of the COVID-19 virus in our state and globally, I will sign a statewide executive proclamation later today, temporarily shutting down restaurants, bars, entertainment, and recreational facilities.
Well, it really started for us back in February when we were starting to hear early stages about the global pandemic.
We went from, first time I'd ever heard the phrase social distancing before, to the entire studio working from home in a matter of a couple of weeks.
It was scary. It was kind of chaotic, a lot of uncertainty.
We had to rise to this challenge and go from a studio all working in person day to day to working distributed all over the Puget Sound region.
Whoever's job it is to ban hackers, he ain't doing his job.
Priorities, and the top priority for us was employee safety. So very quickly it was developing a plan so we could get our employees working remotely and also ensuring that the day-to-day experience of playing Destiny was available for all of our players.
Is there anything confusing or unclear so far?
No, so far everything has been very clear.
Something that's very particular
The
about
fuck is
Destiny
the stream
is
quality?
that we do work on Bungie machines to make sure that we keep certain aspects of Destiny secure. And so in order to do that, we had to look at provisioning up to 400 laptops, which was a huge number for us.
We have artists, we have designers, we have writers, we have engineers, testers. There's so many different workflows that require specific technology.
It's done. The background here got a little microphone set up so that I can record some new stuff for Destiny.
IT was the one getting burdened the most. Everybody who was working from home had basically one avenue that they understood, which was put in a ticket. And our queues just blew out of control.
Normally, our ticket workload for a month is between 700 and 800 tickets. And in March, it was 1,400 tickets.
The IT team was incredible through this. I mean, it was one of those moments where a team that's, often behind the scenes suddenly came front and center.
Our guys, they're willing to stay all through the night, and not a complaint out of a single guy. I mean, it's the best team I've ever worked with, and I could not be prouder to stand by their sides.
You got it.
As we started to get in a position where we were operational day to day, we asked ourselves, well, what can we do locally?
The Bungie Foundation has been really busy, hard at work, and we wanted to make sure that our families, especially the most vulnerable families in our community, would be able to be taken care of in that time.
So we asked ourselves, well, what can we do for kids in the area? So we actually partnered with Boys and Girls Club in the area to help provide food for kids who were no longer going to school.
They are serving about 500 meals per day. And at this point, since the middle of March, that actually equates to about 30,000 meals that they provided for families in the Bellevue community.
Bungie Foundation, thank you. Thank you, Bungie Foundation.
It's incredible stuff, but being able to use our infrastructure to support that. And then, of course, the huge effort with direct relief.
We partnered with Direct Relief, and we wanted to find a way to support those who have been probably some of the most hardest hit in this pandemic, which are our frontline healthcare workers. So we spun up a month-long fundraiser, and we set a goal of $700,000 to be raised in that period of time, and we've already reached our goal, which is really exciting.
One thing that's really become clear to me is how much we're all driven by that mission of we create worlds that inspire friendship. And I think it also says something about how much everyone cares about each other here.
The fact that they are willing to put their money where their mouth is to support the quality of life of the individuals that work for the studio.
I think Bungie is amazing. I look at the situation that other people are in. People are getting laid off, can't pay their bills. Bungie's made this commitment to each one of us.
I want to say thank you to the entire studio because I had the great privilege to be part of this awesome team and this awesome company, and I can't say enough about that.
The thing that I've learned the most from this is doing the right thing and prioritizing people's health and well-being has a rippling effect. I think that we'll see that in the game, and I think we'll see that in the community for years to come.
And we wait. Sub below. Remember guys, the best way to support the channel is to fill the daily dono goal. It's in the top right side of the screen, you can see it. We fill that every day. We're able to continue to make content for you guys. Yo, Zako, you know human rights isn't political, right? Make that very clear, man. Human rights is not political. What's up, Gotham? Yeah, if you guys don't know what the moment of silence for, it's for how long the cop had his knee on the back of George Floyd's neck. As you can obviously see, it was an injustice. It was murder. Can you guys hear it fine? The audio okay?
I'm Mark Noseworthy. I'm the Destiny 2 general manager.
I'm Luke Smith, and I'm the Destiny 2 game director.
Before we started the show today, we wanted to just acknowledge the circumstances and the unprecedented times we're in. This is not how we had planned this several months ago to talk about the future of Destiny 2 and reveal where we're headed with the team. This show's not how we planned it. We're building the game, not how we planned it, from our living rooms and basements and with our kids and our dogs and all sorts of stuff on our laps while we're trying to make this game.
Yeah, there's like an inherent weirdness to this. Even the weirdness of this is the first time I've seen you in person in the last probably 3 months, and I don't know if people know, but outside of the show that is work, those are actually pretty close. We hang out, we talk all the time. Our significant others are buddies, and so. It's super weird just to see you in person.
Yeah, not on a screen.
Yeah, not on this little Zoom screen on an iPad or something. It's just totally bizarre.
Yeah.
This is not how we envisioned this, and certainly our hope was that it would be more than just us two talking about this stuff. And over the course of the summer, a bunch more folks from the team are gonna talk about what we're up to and what we're gonna be up to.
Let's get the show started.
This is what I brought you here to see.
Beyond Light.
So, Luke, is it finally time to explain?
Listen, some jerk said that we were done with the Stranger's story, and as you get back into Destiny and you keep looking around and finding stones to uncover, a character who says that she's not forged in light, and where the two of you meet, ground can break, becomes a pretty interesting tool to leverage here in Destiny 2 Beyond Light and going forward. It is the beginning of a brand new era in Destiny 2. This fall, you're going to discover Europa, a brand new destination, and one of the first destinations we envisioned long ago when Destiny began. This is the birthplace of the Exo and the site of a newly active pyramid ship. As a player, you're going to face Aramis, a fallen warrior wielding a brand new power born from a very ancient darkness.
Like you, Aramis is a leader, but unlike you, she seeks revenge against the Traveler first, scattering her people's once great houses to the cosmic winds.
It's up to you to confront Aramis and her growing empire on the frozen battlegrounds of Europa. And it's up to you to go beyond and discover long dormant secrets hidden beneath the surface in places lost to time, like
The Deep Stone Crypt.
yes, there you go.
That one I
Lore
heard
corner.
Of. That one I heard of. Yeah.
Doing it. There's a lot more to Europa than you might imagine, and here's your first look at gameplay from Destiny 2 Beyond Light.
Where I come from, the darkness won. I have witnessed this firsthand. I refuse to let it happen again. It's time the truth presented itself to you. Darkness resides within, beckoning you. This is a truth we cannot hide from.
Place looks really cool.
And so we must embrace it. The line between light and dark is so very thin.
I did turn it up for you, Ramsey.
Let's cross it together.
Oh, wait, what was that? Yo, that... Was that a new subclass? Wait, did you see that, Hunter? He was ice and he was spinning two little swords. Wait, we're gonna dissect that for sure, dude. We are gonna dissect the fuck out of that trailer. That looks like a new Hunter subclass.
Man,
Ice
it's time
bolts.
to wield the darkness. We've been waiting. Destiny 2 Beyond Light ships to all currently supported platforms on September 22nd this year. And it kicks off a new era in Destiny where players will discover the true nature of the light and the dark. Not just walking the thin line between, but wielding the darkness itself as a weapon with stasis.
And we did just get like a very brief look at that today. And, you know, obviously we're going to end up showing more throughout the course of the summer. And the other thing is Stasis, this new power, isn't just going to be Guardian's supers and abilities. It's a brand new damage type. So that means it's going to ultimately sit alongside Solar, Arc, and Void as the first new element we've introduced to the game since the original Destiny release way back in 2014.
This is a big deal. Like, it's a big deal to add this to the universe. Like, it changes everything.
And it's a lot of work. Today, yeah, you got a glimpse of this new power, and it's definitely the pursuit and acquisition and the player's ability to wield it. It's something that's going to be woven in through the narrative of the game. Like, the game is kind of a collision course between you and Aramis, and we're going to show you a bunch more about Stasis later in the year.
Because though we're excited about what we're delivering this fall, we did say that Destiny 2 Beyond Light was the beginning of a new era.
What does that mean? Well, it means that we're thinking about Destiny beyond just any given year and thinking about it over time. And so we want to take a look into kind of the long future of Destiny. But when you want to look ahead, like we're about to do, it all starts back at the beginning.
Destiny 1.
We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever.
Eyes up, Guardian.
Such a good game, man.
Push back the darkness. Guardians are fighting on Earth and beyond. Join them.
6 of us went down into the pit. In the end, they all bowed before me.
Good times.
We have slain
Good
him.
times.
We have murdered his son. And now the Taken King comes for us all.
I'm about to cry, dude. Life was so good when Destiny 1 was around.
We thought we were indestructible.
brave. You've merely forgotten the fear of death. I am Gaul.
This guy was a weak pussy.
And your light is mine.
Without the light, are we even guardians anymore?
We should have been there. Any last words? I'm coming home, Ace. So, this is to be a reckoning.
They should just make movies, dude. Like Destiny 2 should definitely, I mean, Destiny should just definitely be like an anime series or something.
How long has it sat in silence, watching us? It seems those responsible for our collapse are coming back. We've been waiting. We are your salvation. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Do you know which side you're on?
The Witch Queen.
A side should always be taken. Even if it's the wrong side.
Bro, they have content planned for the next 3 years.
Right inside of Destiny 2. It starts with Beyond Light coming this fall.
It's going to continue with the next major expansion, the Witch Queen, and Lightfall is going to kind of drive this all to a moment. These 3 releases represent this new era in Destiny. These eras began really in 2014.
I love this game, man.
Era of Light,
I just wish there was an
players
anti-cheat.
entered Destiny for the first time. They were resurrected.
I really, really, really wish there was an anti-cheat.
The things the children were scared of, and you know, we exited that era when we became guardians.
I've been saying no D3 for a while. People don't listen.
Of our powers, one of our mentors, our innocence, and soon we will be entering an era of darkness. And if it's not clear, we are all in on Destiny 2.
Last year, we laid out a vision for the game that we wanted to build the definitive action MMO, place it in an awesome evolving world that you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends. We are still completely committed to this ambitious vision, and we're going to continue reaching to deliver it in Destiny 2. And to be clear, listen, I'm sure like over here in the Twitch chat, there's like, you know, some mix of salt and space dad. You know, we haven't gotten everything right out of the gate. You know, for example, we've already begun working on changes that we're going to make to our seasonal model in year 4 to get a bunch of the FOMO that's in the game right now out of it. And this is a response not only to your feedback, but just, you know, we took it in the wrong direction. You can lay that at me. We're also working on things like transmog, and that's going to be an experience that means armor is kind of always valuable to you because it can always represent a look for you to chase. And we've got a bunch of other improvements to the experience that we're working on. Things like the quest log's going to get like another awesome revision. We've got like small touches, like a oft requested one. And I think when we started Beyond Light, this was one that I made to Mike Zach in you know, the...
Yeah, getting a dark title screen back in Destiny so that the light white heat of the title screen doesn't light up your entire apartment at 2 a.m. So there are the small features, but then there's also some big features, and maybe one of the biggest is next generation support.
I think one of the most exciting things we're going to talk about is the game's going to run at 60 frames per second and 4K resolution on the new hardware.
We're also really happy to say that whatever
60 FPS D2 console
will own in Destiny 2 will come with you to your next generation console of choice at no extra charge. On PlayStation, you'll be able to upgrade to PlayStation 5 for free, and on Xbox, we will support smart delivery also for free. In plain English, this means if you own Destiny 2 expansion content on those platforms now or in the future or by Beyond Light in September, you can keep playing on the same family consoles for free without buying the expansions again. We think that's going to be awesome. And you don't have to worry about busting up your friends list either, because we're going to support intergenerational crossplay within each console platform ecosystem as well. This means that if your brother's playing on PS4 and your sister's playing on PS5, all three of you can play together. And we're going to do the same thing in the Xbox ecosystem. This year we're focused on intergenerational play. Hopefully next year we can finally do the thing and get them all playing together in the same ecosystem.
Yes. So Shadowkeep was cool, and Shadowkeep brought back the moon and upgraded and enhanced it. And so we
60 FPS is great. It's double the FPS of what console is now without the cheating problem.
We're not doing that with this fall's destination, Europa. It's a brand new place you've never been before. And both the Witch Queen and Lightfall are going to also include brand new, never before seen destinations. These expansions will stretch out across a timeline that's going to bring much anticipated enemies to the forefront and hopefully deliver some twists, turns, drama that we don't think anyone's going to see coming.
But to deliver these big content beats each and every year and keep building on top of our seasonal experiences while making technological leaps forward, we also need to make some big changes to the way we treat some of our older legacy content.
The stuff that maybe is getting a little long in the tooth that you're not really looking at and playing anymore. You're not.
Destiny 2 is a huge game. We have 9 destinations, 40 story missions, 54 adventures, 42 lost sectors, 17 strikes, 31 PvP maps, 7 raids, and hundreds of game systems that layer on top of that. I could go on, and I probably screwed up one of those numbers. The fact is, the game is too large to efficiently update and maintain. We're on track to be like 115 gigabytes on PlayStation alone, and our updates to the game are huge, and we're starting to reach the limits of our ability to patch.
We don't want to start over from scratch and build a sequel. And in order to make a sequel, we would have to stop supporting Destiny 2. Like, it would effectively go dark.
You know, we talk about a single evolving world, not multiple evolving worlds, but a single evolving world. And we don't want people to have to start over. We don't want to have that loss of continuity with our game systems and our communities and all the players together.
We don't want to put another number on the box. So instead, here's our plan. Each year, just as a new expansion comes out, we're going to cycle older, less actively played activity and destination content out of the live game and into what we're calling the Destiny Content Vault, the DCV. Moving content into this vault is going to allow us to add support for D2 for years, including Beyond Light, the Witch Queen, and Lightfall. This vault is also going to allow us to take content from Destiny 1, do some work on it, get it ready to come back into the Destiny 2 ecosystem. So we're not just going to be taking stuff away, we're also going to be going into the classic vault and kind of bringing some stuff back, or unvaulting activity and destination content each year.
Thinking about the greatest hits of Destiny, right? Like, what are the new tracks we can lay down? What's something from the past that was like pretty cool that could be made even better if it existed today? And what does that look like?
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that there's a lot of awesome stuff that the team has built over the 6 years of making Destiny.
Stiff, there's no way those numbers are accurate, man. Just so you know.
Later this year, Destiny 1's Cosmodrome is coming back this fall as a selectable destination. Its 3 strikes are also going to come back during Season 12 and Season 13. And part of the awesome thing here is a bunch of players haven't played Sepix. Sepix was the strike from the beta way back in like summer 2014. It is the oldest,
like the definitive like original strike that we felt like hit the right notes.
Yeah,
in Destiny 1, right? And we left all that behind when we made Destiny 2, and we're saying like, we don't want to do that again. Well, let's not do that again, but let's also reach into the past and like bring it into the present.
There's a lot of great content in our past, and maybe this year we'll see a classic raid come back. I think it'd be pretty amazing this year to see the Vault of Glass kind of unvaulted and returned in front of players. Like, I can imagine things like champion Praetorians instead of just regular Praetorians, and kind of updating it slightly to the modern context, but still preserving that like classic feel.
This fall when the expansion comes out, not only are we going to be bringing back Cosmodrome and adding Europa, but we're going to look at some of that content that's been in the game for a long time, that's been free, that isn't actively played, and that's when some of that is going to be vaulted.
Well, after the show, we're going to have a much more in-depth article that you can read on our plans for vaulting content on Bungie.net and why we're taking this unprecedented approach and what it means for the game this year and for the game going forward. We're also going to be conducting a bunch of interviews to answer your big questions, and we will continue the conversation with coverage in our ongoing This Week at Bungie community conversations, as well as there will be a bunch of player support and DPS articles about this all summer long. You know, we've placed a bunch of bets on the Destiny Cosmic board, whether it's the Traveler waking up, whether it's the Stranger dissolving after telling you, you know, there's so much more to explore out there. And so we're going to start to bring a bunch of these threads home. And here's a look at the beginning of those threads coming home to roost this summer in Season of Arrivals.
The Almighty has been reduced to smoldering ash. And with allies like Rasputin, who can stop us?
From Titan to Mercury, their shadow reaches.
Is their message a warning? A trick? We can't know until we hear their words for ourselves. You bring weapons. You will not need them. We offer only truth.
The darkness reached out, but something interferes. The witch sister of the taken king, Savathun.
We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
Oh no, another trace rifle?
Guardian, this battle is not over.
The Season of Arrivals is going to be really dry, unfortunately.
So that's the Season of Arrivals, and it starts any minute now at 10 a.m. Pacific.
So today, we looked at a bunch of stuff. We talked about the Destiny Content Vault. We looked into the past to see kind of how we got to where we are today. We looked into the far future with the Witch Queen and Lightfall. And we also talked about Beyond Light, which is the beginning of a new era in Destiny 2. And if pre-ordering's kind of your thing, like the pre-orders are going to go live today. Like if you're interested, there's some sweet bonuses, and you know that's kind of the summary of the show.
If you're excited about the start of Beyond Light and where we're headed, well, the Season of Arrivals, it's kind of like a prelude. You know, it's really setting up that story, and so we encourage you to get in and play.
There's one more thing I totally forgot. So today at 5 p.m. Pacific, we're going to launch a brand new dungeon called Prophecy. Prophecy is
Thought he was going to say anti-cheat.
Involves the 9, and that's kind of like all I'm going to say about it, because there's a little bit of business to get to with it, and then we'll wrap. But it's got a brand new set of armor for you to chase. It's got some classic armor for you to chase. It's going to be at a really high power level, which means it's like a solid day's work plus a little bit of skill to summit that mountain.
It's free for all players.
It's free for all players. And we're going to show you a trailer in just a second. If you don't want to see anything from the dungeon, just click the little red X, or like get up and go make an omelet, and then come back, and the stream will be over, and you can play Season of Arrivals in Destiny 2. And I think that's the business side, right? We're like there. We've handled everything.
I think it's the time to say thank you all for tuning in and giving us your time today, and just for playing Destiny and being part of this amazing community.
It has, and it will continue to be a journey. On behalf of everyone at Bungie, please, please, please stay safe out there, and, you know, we'll see you soon.
So it's a dungeon. Prophecy. at 5 p.m. Pacific. Yo, the armor's clean. The Warlock looks horrible, but the Hunter and the Titan look clean. I believe Dr. Lupo is going to be going live with a Q&A.
Reveal content there. Let me pop myself back up. There we go. Should be good now. That's a lot. There's a lot in there. A brand new element, you know, a new damage type being added, stasis, which is basically darkness. It looked like a lot of that looked like ice exploding and stuff. We had like a little tiny thing in there to be able to actually see that and see what that was about. They didn't give
I kind of want to watch. I kind of want to watch.
Seeing you in person, our hope.
I kind of want to watch this again, so we can kind of digest it. Cause this revealed like a lot of new shit. We just kind of looked right past it.
Like looking around,
I want to look at the video right here, this one. Okay, that's a trial shotgun.
It's time the truth presented itself to you.
That's a
Darkness resides within.
Vandal. Okay, nothing new here, it looks like.
Beckoning you. This is a truth we cannot hide from. And so we must embrace it.
Astral Horizon, nothing new. Wait, why would they show that Hunter like that? Hunter has nothing new. I'm personally specifically looking for bones. I'm looking for bones on Hunter's feet. This is a new enemy, by the way. Somebody's like, we have no new enemies. This guy's kind of new. He looks like a cyborg fallen with like a big battery pack on his back on a Lord of Wolves. Those are Trials boots.
The line between light and dark is so very thin.
Okay, so this is the new like peek into the stasis category.
Let's cross it together.
See, this is a new super. So this is a stasis super. It's a warlock holding a spear, casting a bolt forward. So it looks like this might take place of the Chaos Reach. Chaos Reach is middle tree, right? Okay. See, this is definitely fucking new. This Hunter has like ice picks in his hands. He's like spinning ice picks. Lupo's talking to Luke. I got you.
Some people did sit and stare at the Almighty, as I said on Twitter, for over an hour and made it out on the other side okay. So 8 minutes honoring the life of a man that has begun one of the biggest movements we've seen in equality is absolutely huge and can never be overstated. So seriously, thank you to you and everybody at Bungie for doing that. I mean, it means, I think, more than you guys realize.
Yeah, the team did an awesome job of that. It was a shit ton of to try to get back to try to like pull myself back here. It is a shit ton of stuff we put on the table today. So,
oh yeah, there's. I even want to say I respect the fact that the back and forth, you and Mark side by side. I saw online somebody that was 6'1" laid down between to make sure that there was correct social distancing between the chairs, which was hilarious, but appropriate as well. So.
And it was, I mean, we didn't do that at Bungie. We ended up going to a studio. There were only like 5 people there. Everyone stayed really far apart. We had masks right up until we sat down and we put them in our pockets. And, I undersold the Mark thing a little bit. It's like my only regret from that is like, oh, he's like kind of a, we're pretty close outside of that. Like Noseworthy and I, like, he's like my best friend. And so I felt like I cheaped him out a little bit with my underselling of our bromance, if you will.
I'm sure he'll be okay. Now, before we get into the Q&A, I have the Beyond Light reveal trailer up, and I wanted to take this opportunity to walk through it because you brought back the Exo Stranger. She's back, and there's a lot of interaction there. So if when you are ready, I'm going to hit play on this, and you talk me through. I won't have the volume all the way up on it. So
just a little context before we play the video. When we set out to think about this expansion set and where we had been, the last kind of massive event in Destiny was the end of Destiny 2, where the Traveler woke up and kind of, you realize that the Traveler maybe hasn't been dead. It's been intentionally dormant because any action would result in this, inevitability. And so, with Shadowkeep, it was really important to me that we start to pick up that thread. I felt like that was a really big ball to kick. And with something like the Stranger and something like Europa, these are really things from, I associate with, early Destiny. And so another thing that we were looking for, even before we hired a director for this piece, it was, we want to, reach out across all of Destiny's history and kind of pull some stuff together to say, hey, we're moving forward here. And the director we ended up tapping is actually the same director who did the Destiny 1 Mars video. It's a guy named Ilya. We've worked with a bunch over the years, and so anytime there's like a little homage, it's totally intentional, and it's just part of Ilya's genius. So let's roll it.
You got it.
A lot of initial drama here. You can just let it run here. A lot of initial drama about getting the colors right in the pyramid ships because we didn't want them to be too threatening. This shot here with the drifter shot, that is a mirror of that original kind of Destiny 1 intro. You'll see another one of these mirrors here where Eris takes a little tumble. That is exactly meant to mirror the astronaut slipping. So if we pause here on the fire, so I'm a few seconds behind, but
a little delay. I got it.
Yeah, we were really thinking about how to do the Stranger because we didn't want the reveal to be totally immediate, but we also wanted it to be the kind of thing that the silhouette on a rifle would maybe tip the hand. And we entertained a bunch of different ideas here. There was one great idea from Ilya and his team where she was in an interior kind of like an ancient computer, and that looked awesome. And we ended up going with the fire because the lighting was better for concealing the character in the way that we wanted to.
I think a lot of people saw the gun, and I know I speak for my chat for sure, and kind of went nuts almost instantly as soon as the thing was on screen. Everybody caught that very, very quickly. But yeah, this is the shot that was chosen for this is really solid.
So then another thing we were thinking about was to when we can, we wanted to make things that we created for the trailer kind of available to players. And so I think we've taken some of these things and woven them into pre-order bonuses for the game for Beyond Light this fall, because we do all this work to model these things, and we think it's awesome when players can get their hands on it.
So you're telling me, and for anybody that's misinterpreting that, a number of the things, the ships, the sparrows, that kind of stuff is going to be available as potential pre-order bonuses for Beyond Light and things following that?
Yeah, I don't have it all stored totally in my brain, but I think, I mean, for sure, her weapon, and I believe the sparrow is part of it too.
Okay.
The ship's fucking awesome. We wanted to give the Drifter kind of a different pod. Like, some of the fun of doing stuff like this is, getting to take characters who have really familiar aesthetics and give them something else. Like, I remember Mike and I talking about, like, well, if Eris is going to kind of be trudging through the frozen wilderness here, like, can we give her some, winter gear? Like, kind of, when you see your favorite characters from Star Wars, they have like different wardrobe changes. You're like, oh, the Han Solo parka is awesome. Like, what's Eris's version of the Han Solo parka? It's not like Han Solo parka. It's like an Eris parka. So.
That's going to be an official.
Yeah, you guys used to be the Wishes Wizards.
Sure.
So let's see. So here, if you so you can see as Eris is walking, there are these crystals emerging, and this is indicating that she is, this plus the final scene from Shadowkeep, the kind of post-game sequence, is really indicating that Eris, a character who has been, very anti the notion of the darkness, has maybe started to explore the edges of it, and certainly looks like she may be wielding something a little bit different than you would expect.
This even looks like almost a clue into stasis, which obviously I'll be asking questions about in a little while. But yeah, this was a kind of a similar aesthetic to what we saw in the gameplay trailer. So
yeah, just well, I'm having a little bit of technical difficulty on my side here. I think I'm still with you. Yeah. Okay. I'm just catching up to the video. My video popped.
All good.
So now, yeah, the original cut for this piece was almost 5 minutes long, and a lot of it ended up being travel. And if you just
they said all content from this game is moving over to next gen consoles for free. GB Muscleman. But I'm assuming come this season, the old content will become free.
Talking about this notion of taking our time was really important, not because of all the reveals, but because sometimes we'll have the marketing pieces, like these pieces that we put out that are really bombastic, and the pace is really fast, and I think the dungeon trailer and the like early gameplay trailer are like punchier and quicker, and we had this long cut for this piece, and then we had a shorter cut that was, I don't remember the exact time, and when people watched the shorter cut, we just didn't feel like it was giving the whole piece enough time to breathe. And of course the 5 minute cut is like that's like Mike, Zach, and I, like, being like, it can be long and slow like a Kubrickian movie or whatever. Like, and so we find some like reasonable here, and I think that we did get to this really nice length here. Okay. This is meant to show an uncomfortable meeting between three characters. The dismount for the stranger, and into this thing that emerges from her. That object, I know we're gonna have a lot of questions about, and I'm not gonna talk too specifically about them. But the stranger is not forged in light. The stranger does not have a ghost.
So that's not a ghost.
That is not a ghost. That is something different, and that's kind of where we're gonna leave that for now. But it is for sure not a ghost.
Towards the very end, she has a line, and if I can go back and scrub directly to it, I'm gonna try.
What you here to see?
about bringing them here to see the Dorito, one of the pyramid ships. Are we to assume that based on that back and forth, that Drifter, Eris Morn, and the Exo Stranger have a previous interaction history?
I don't think it's assumed that there's a previous interaction history. I think when we were putting this piece together, we were thinking about who are 3 characters.
I don't think Lupo's gonna ask about an anti-cheat, to be honest with you.
Who are the 3 characters who would be most interested in the power of the darkness? And the Drifter, with all of his, embrace the darkness, all of his like gambit chicanery is a great fit. We had and then Eris, of course, is kind of also a pretty great fit. And when I was this whole idea started with the Stranger, so she was there from the beginning, because I felt like anytime you want to explore something different, like the darkness, like I said on the video, like a character who's not forged in light, and a character who's like who's like kind of pointed at this notion that the collision with the player would break ground, felt like really good opportunity. And I know people have been waiting a long time to see her again, and I think that's
I would not recommend harassing Lupo to ask about an anti-cheat.
Yeah, I think that's an understatement. As one of the characters that I don't have time to explain why we've wanted to see that for a really long time. The thing that's not a ghost, I'm just going to ask it outright. Are we going to be able to obtain something similar?
Not this year.
Not this year. Are you implying in the future that it would be potentially possible?
It's certainly an idea that we are deeply considering, because I think that I think it's, you put something in front of people, you see how they react to it, you see if they think it's cool. And
I know Lupo doesn't play Destiny anymore, guys.
I think
he just has a really large reach in his social media.
Add super cool shit for players in Destiny, and I think that the Stranger's little buddy is I think it's pretty super cool. But our community is going to tell us what they think.
They usually do. Don't worry. Between when Beyond Light is released and now, is there an expectation for the Exo Strangers, the big gap in time to be fleshed out as to what was going on, where they went, all that?
No, she's going to kind of debut in Beyond Light. She's not going to be a part of the Season of Arrivals.
Just wanted to check. All
That's
right.
good. It's your time. Let's do it.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to go through the Beyond Light reveal trailer. I think I speak for a lot of people when I say, holy crap, you guys are very good at cinematics. We appreciate you taking the time to do everything that you've done with that. But it is time to get into the nitty gritty. And as you told me before, and I want to make sure that people understand this, none of the questions that I'm going to ask you were pre-canned from Bungie. You didn't give me anything. I even told CJ, no, thank you. I'm good, because I wanted to do the best that I could to represent the community and the position that y'all have offered up to me. So thank you very much. And I'm going to start out of the gate with talking about in-game live events. We saw the Destruction of the Almighty. That was a technical feat for Bungie, proving you can do in-game globally synced live story events. Very, very cool. Many players, though, were frustrated by the duration of the event and the level of communication around when viewing said event would be essential. Will Bungie be doing more live in-game events going forward? And if so, in what ways are they going to be changed from our first experience with them?
So I think that's an awesome and totally great question. The way I've been thinking about this event, which I think you said really well, is technically awesome. And once it kind of hit its stride, I think it's fucking cool too. But we had these Lego pieces, and I think the Lego pieces with things like what's the timing of an event? What's the way that players come into the world? How do they know when is the best time to be there? I think about this in terms of concerts, not Travis Scott, but like if you actually go to a concert or a comedy show or something, doors are at 7:30. But if you're there to see a comic, they probably don't go on time. And so I think that once you learn that, you're like, okay, that's fine. I think we could have signaled all of that better. And at the bare minimum, we've got to signal it better. But I also think there's a compression that we could be doing with the time that we're asking people.
What do you mean they shouldn't do sunsetting? That doesn't make any sense. You want to use the same guns?
Follow up.
Destiny in 2020 and 2022?
Is there an opportunity for players to maybe be a little more hands-on with the mechanics or the event playing out, because I think a lot of people, while they did go through and do all of the bounties and public events to gas Rasputin up, it very much would have been nice to be able to, even just in this case, go to the Almighty, maybe disable a portion of the shield, anything like that, where there was an interactive moment, because people often felt like they just sat there and watched Rasputin blow a thing up that they put a lot of work into before that, with no payoff.
Yeah, I think that there's two things you're talking about there, and I think they're both great pieces of feedback. Like the first one is what's like the kinetic action game part of this? Like how do I get to feel like I'm more involved actively, like on the controller or on the keyboard? And I think that's awesome feedback, and we should strive to get there. The second thing I would say is it's also about how can I very clearly understand the impact of my or the community's collective actions across the game. And so, what is the other ideas that we've talked about are, how could we have made the Warmind network feel more present in the solar system at large, so that you're actually feeling, on your director and your skyboxes everywhere, that this is a thing that's building up over the course of the season, so that when you see those missile streamers traveling at, physically real time, but maybe not like action game, that you're like, yeah, we did that. And so I think those are both awesome notes and awesome pieces of feedback. I think
they're doing it to armor. Sorry, I wasn't specific. That's fine with me too.
Kind of like, I think someone said it really.
You don't know if sunsetting armor comes with new perks, man.
Gotcha.
Better management from us for next time.
A lot of people in my chat are touching on crossplay, so I'm going to bring that up just super quick to get clarification so they understand. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that when the next generation of consoles, the next Xbox and PlayStation release, there will be crossplay within the same the same ecosystem. So Xbox, Xbox One and the next tier, and PS4, PS5, those will be able to interact with each other initially, but not cross-platform between the two. Correct?
Yeah, the intergenerational crossplay.
Yes. And then going forward, Mark specifically said that the goal is to achieve full crossplay next year.
Yeah, that's our target. We've been signaling crossplay for a while. We had some other technical priorities this year, and we want to move on to that next. Like we want to be that single evolving world, and that means that you can play anytime, anywhere with your friends, and that Destiny 2 is the platform.
Is that, and last clarification on that, and then I won't bring up crossplay again. And that's going to be Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Stadia, all together?
Yes.
There you go, chat. Okay, I want to swing back. Talking about public events, bounties. Season of the Worthy on the PvE side felt like that was a majority of what we were asked to do. It became, for a lot of players, relatively monotonous. I mean, doing millions of these things, and that's the only thing you could do at the time.
I mean, the only way I could see them bringing PC over correctly to crossplay is allowing PvE only.
Of things to do.
So we're getting the feedback as we keep going. So one of the things that I associate with player feedback around Season of the Worthy is an intentional decision that I made, which is we want to refuel aspiration in the game, and for that season, because we could only do one really big aspirational thing, we chose to do trials. And so PvE aspirational players were kind of, I think, left cold by the lack of something to care about at the top end. We've rectified that for season 11 with the dungeon that comes out today at 5, and so we're making sure that we have that. With respect to like the bounties and the amount of bounties players feel like they have to do, this is going to be a continued area of improvement for us. Like we have stuff that we are planning for year 4 that is going to give players alternate ways to make bounty-like progress on their season pass. Like that I think can lessen the burden of making it feel like the best way to play the game is to grab the random bounties till you get the one for the lost sector and then run in and out of it over like that. That doesn't sound like a super fun way to play the game. So we've got to get better here.
You mentioned that Season of the Worthy obviously had trials, was the big aspiration. For Season of Arrivals, you have a brand new dungeon. which begs the
The
question:
new COD has crossplay because of lag compensation.
PvE versus PvP for new content. Should we expect the back and forth each season? Is there going to be, or will it be split between both sides going forward for each subsequent season?
It's not going to be necessarily like a back and forth sawtooth. I think that we've talked about wanting to do a refresh to trials every year. And I don't know that we've said exactly. I can't keep it all straight. I don't know if we've said when we're doing the next one. I do know when we're doing the next one.
Feel free to say.
No, I think that we
just checking.
We talked about the PvE top end kind of passively in that video that we just watched, which is in year 4 we're going to have the raid that comes out with Beyond Light, and we're also going to have a raid that returns from the content vault. And so we'll have at least 2 raids. We'll have 2 raid activities next year, and we've got to figure out what that aspiration looks like. In there's one season basically that doesn't have something booked, and so we've got to figure out what that's going to look like.
You said a raid was coming back from the content vault. Which raid specifically?
we're gonna pull the old Vault of Glass out and
there you go.
And play there.
The Vault of Glass comes back next year.
That's I'm hoping people are very excited about that. That seems I think a lot of people have a certain feeling about Vault of Glass compared to everything else because it was the first. It's everybody remembers the first. So change gears again real quick. Hardcore players of Destiny, of which, especially on the streamer side, I admit that, and I'm trying to not be content creator focused. I'm trying to look at everybody. There are a lot of hardcore non-content creator players as well. They enjoy highly repeatable content. I'm going to use Diablo as an example. You have an unending difficulty scale in which you can continue to get rewards all the way forever, basically. That may not necessarily fit into the Destiny structure, but GM Nightfalls were added as an even harder difficulty, but the reward structure for that was essentially a title that you only went after once. There was with the exception of a small period of bug rewards, there's no reason to do those over Masters. Going forward, is there a plan to give a longer term carrot on a stick mechanic for players in that situation that have done everything? And a suggestion, thank you to Dado for making this video, was that maybe you can have titles that level up. So you've unlocked, Conqueror, how many times? Maybe you get the level 2, level 3, level 4, something that'll give people something to do so you can show that they've dedicated a whole crap load of time to something and it doesn't affect the way that the game is played.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. I'm pretty sure we're doing something like this starting soon, which is it might be starting as early as season 11. Again, some stuff moves around in the calendar, but like gilding titles is a thing that we are working on and planning to do is one thing. I think another thing with an activity like the GM Nightfalls, which I think have a number of really awesome properties, we're going to be enhancing their itemization during year 4. I think that sometimes we're not totally sure how a thing is going to go. We do a lot of experimenting in this game, and maybe sometimes it feels like we do too much, but we are thinking about that reward story for GM Nightfalls and believe we can enhance that pretty significantly.
Things like Tyrant Surge and other mods created some really fun and effective builds within this last season. Are we going to see mods from Season of the Worthy come back in the future, or do you plan on having additional
Landon, thank you for the sub.
Relatively innovative for Destiny mechanics like that that are not just seasonal? Are we gonna in Diablo you have season gear that gets retired into the main line? Do we see something like that happening with some of the mods that people absolutely love?
I think what the armor and mods team are doing right now is sneakily some really fucking awesome work on Destiny, and the challenge might be it's a little hard to find the fun here, to put it together and to make a build. I think that we have improvements that we can make there to make build crafting a little bit more understandable, and then I think figuring out how do we take experiments like the cool stuff from this season of the Worthy, and leverage those awesome things across the game. That's we got to do more of that. When we find something that's super successful, how can we how can we double down on it? Like that's, we place bets, and when the bets hit, we have to double down.
The player base has always had kind of a complex relationship with paid seasonal content and Destiny. The question, is it worth it? I see often asked pretty quickly after the first week or two of, that, man, this is brand new. That rush wears off. Should players temper their expectations when it comes to each new season? Should we be focusing more on the larger expansions as the target for highly repetitive stuff?
I think that this is a line we're still gonna have to find. Like we have basically a battle pass that for sure has $10 of value if you're like thinking about value. But I think we also ask players to play the game a lot, and so I think this year we overstruck the FOMO nerve, and that's completely on me. That's my direction and discretion, and I think I led us astray, and we're gonna fix it. The other thing that you're asking though about content, I think we have to continue to evolve the way we're thinking about content. Like again, this year we had a bunch of really cool stuff. Like Rescuing Saint 14 was a cool quest line that had a bunch of good elements in it. But I think that we ended up making a lot of 6-player arena type activities, and you can lay that at my feet too. Like I think that we need a more diverse offering in our seasons. Imagine a season where you have, we're not doing this. I'm just saying, imagine a season that's all about a handful of exotic quests. So you have a bunch of cool quest lines that season, and that's the primary thing that you're doing. I think that we've got areas to improve here, and we need to do it, and we're going to do it. But you can, you and the community can always lay the blame for the stuff that you're unhappy with directly on me. And if it's awesome, the team did a great job, and if it's not what you wanted it to be, or it's not as good, you can blame me for it.
There are a lot of different avenues in which people express their frustrations and joys from Destiny. There's a team within Bungie that is responsible for monitoring all those things, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. The our community team, and we have a bunch of surveying that's happening kind of I'll say passively, in that it's technology that's surveying reactions, seeing how people talk about the game. And so we're always looking at that stuff, and then our community team does an awesome job of showing us what's going on in the game, because it's it's not always the place you want to send your team to go out into the wilds to collect feedback. You want people who are focused on that as their job.
With projecting the roadmap all the way out to 2022, it does seem more and more like Destiny 3 is not going to be a thing. Is there ever going to be a Destiny 3?
I'll say we're not planning to make one. We believe really strongly that we want to build the future of Destiny inside of the Destiny 2 game. So that this is the way.
Is there a plan to continue to integrate Destiny 1 content back into Destiny 2? You say to bring it back VOG. Cosmodrome is returning. And in addition to that, is it going to be a lot of people complain, and this isn't just to Bungie, this is to a lot of different games, that it's reuse of the same content over and over again, a copy paste of old stuff, because there may not be an opportunity to innovate. Maybe you don't have chances to build new things, or maybe it's laziness. Can you explain the thought process behind bringing that stuff in, and if we should expect the D1 content to, as a whole, return to D2?
So I wouldn't expect the D1 content to return as a whole. We're not going to remake the Destiny 1. If only it was so simple as Control-C, Control-V. We're not going to remake Destiny 1's campaign in Destiny 2. We will probably never do that. But when I think about the content that we've built to date, I do think there's a bunch of really awesome stuff that is, has been lost in the dark corners of time as we've moved on. And so I think the Destiny Content Vault's an opportunity to, selectively pull things out of the vault. Like I will speak for myself as a player and not with my role in the team, but the idea of a ship landing, like heading toward a strike and hearing the voiceover, Zavala as we go to that Imperial land tank outside of Rubicon would make me laugh. That would bring me some joy. And so I think we have content that can touch our players in that way. it's also a balancing act because you want to keep making new awesome stuff too, and that's not just limited to our players wanting us to make new awesome stuff. It's also about our development team wants to make new awesome stuff, and so we've got to find the right line between some of our playlists feel like greatest hits, and our world feels new. So we're gonna keep exploring that.
In the future, will Bungie have maybe put forth a more concentrated effort to bring more of the lore directly into the game for a more cohesive narrative? An example is I asked before stream if anybody knew the name of the Scion Flayer that was in charge of trying to crash the Almighty into the tower, into Earth.
Did he talk about anti-cheat at all?
Nobody knew Amtech's name unless you read the lore. That's one of those things about the game where if you're not constantly staying up to date on all the little pieces, and that's an RPG element that should be respected, but having that stuff put in front of you is very important. Is that going to be something we should expect in the future, or are we going to continue to have to, even just for main plot points, to have to go to the Grimoire and read?
I think it's a mix, right? Like Aramis is a character I believe that we summoned from the history of the game, and it also depends on how our lore, which is largely looking into the history, and how the lore, the narrators contained therein, sometimes reliable, sometimes how that relates to what we're doing. We do have a plan and vision for where we are trying to take this story, and we may find the lore super valuable in some respects, and in some respects it might be a zag because narrators maybe aren't always as reliable as we think they are.
With the Destiny content vault becoming a thing and retiring a portion of the current Destiny content, there's going to be people that will say that they feel like they've lost money or wasted money that they spent on content that they can no longer play. While I understand the utilization and the reasoning behind it, it obviously makes sense if you can't, update and patch your game in a timely manner. What do you say to the people that feel like they will have wasted money on content they can't access anymore?
I think it's totally that's totally an acceptable feeling. What we're trying to do, I'm not going to tell people how to feel. What we're trying to do is make sure that we can continue to grow Destiny 2 in the direction that we want to grow it, and we want to give people plenty of notification. More so maybe in the future than we are this year with what is gonna go away. And the other thing is we're setting this up in such a way that the content is going to go free in its life cycle before it goes away. And so it's not like we want to avoid situations where someone pays for something and then it just like, oh, poof, it's gone the next day. Like that would super duper suck. But some of the harsh reality here is, content that we're pulling out of the game this year, vaulting, if you will, is some content that's not, some of it's lesser played, some of it's lesser realized. I don't think a lot of people are way through these days. And even though I think the Red War is cool, it totally represents a chunk of effort from our team, a chunk of effort from our players, and certainly a period in Destiny's history. We have to excise the past to continue with the future.
With stasis being added, I'm just going to ask some direct ones. It is a brand new subclass, so there will be 4 per class, correct?
A brand new subclass, 4 per class. What do you mean?
So you have Arc,
yes.
Void,
There'll
Solar,
be,
Stasis?
Yes. And a little, I'll break into jail here a little bit. These subclasses will be different than how the current subclasses are selected. They will not be locked diamonds. They are going to be a brand new model that allows for much more player choice and flexibility than the current Arc, Solar, and Void subclasses have. And this was something that was really important to me and really important to the team. So it's going to be a different way to customize your Guardian than it is today.
Those customization options, are those going to be integrated back into the current 3 subclasses?
That thing I said about experiments, like we want to see how this goes. Like I think our desire is to get to a place where players have much more flexibility with their subclasses than what they have today. But also that means that if we should someday decide to break up the subclasses in Destiny, that in Destiny 2, we'll probably make some stuff will probably go away as well. So we're taking that really seriously and thinking a lot about it. But right now, focusing on stasis and the new paradigm.
Is there any concern around homogenization between subclasses or balancing? Now that you're going to have 4 with with options underneath that.
Yeah, I think homogenization is, just for me, kind of an ongoing concern. But it's really hard to make something that competes with, turn into a tiny god and run around and destroy everything, which is what a bunch of our.
That's true. It could mean the ability tree from D1. That's very true. I never thought about that.
What's the right balance for those things? I think that I'll kind of just talk out of church here for a second. I think that the relationship between the supers in Destiny 1 was maybe a little bit more interesting than what we have today. Or today, the classes do kind of have similar versions of the same supers, and I think there's an opportunity for us to pull them apart a little bit more than they are today. But that's the thing we, again, take really seriously, because people might identify as, like, I am only a Spectral Blades hunter, aka a douchebag. And I don't want to just strip people of that either. Take that. So
rude. A number of different questions have been brought up around sunsetting and the plans, how that's going to be implemented. So I'll just hit you with a couple of those. Will there be a completely new set of weapons in the loot pool after each sunset, or will we be collecting our Better Devils version 3?
I have to look. It's gonna be a mix. We're gonna keep updating that world pool. I think we had a blog post about that with a mix of the new. We're also, the team's actively developing a bunch of new traits or perks, and so I hope that I hope that we do. I think we can do better than it's the same Better Devils you had with the exact same roles. Like, go and get it. Like, that seems that seems below our potential. I think we can do better.
Is sunsetting being implemented as a way to force players to shake up the meta within both PvE and PvP?
It's not being implemented to force players to do it. It has a knock-on effect of, as max power level goes up, certain weapons, will fall by the wayside, and at least in high-level competitive activity. And I think that has a number of good properties, even though I also know that some dissonance for our players where, wielding a gun in Destiny is different than
that's good 6
staff or something in an MMO, because the staff is basically just glorified stats. And our weapons team, curates each legendary, very bespokely. So it's easy to find a gun. I hope it's easy to find a gun that you fall in love with and that you love the for. And the idea of that going away, or that not being viable in 12% of activities, I guess, is hard for people to reconcile.
Is SRL coming back?
Nothing to talk about right now, but I do that people miss it. I think that it's a good question. Keep asking.
Do we have an expectation on yes or no and timing, especially with crossplay in the future for dedicated servers for PvP or a higher tick rate?
That we should follow up with a technologist. I am definitely not the person to about tick rates. My English degree doesn't do a whole lot of good there. Dedicated servers, though, like the Destiny infrastructure is built on a PvP or a peer-to-peer platform, and I don't know that we'll migrate the game to dedicated servers ever necessarily at this point.
You can say no. It's okay. Not that you have. I'm just saying.
I said a version of no. It's a soft no.
Yeah, we see you. Don't worry. Any plans for more Whisper or Outbreak type missions in the future?
Secret missions wouldn't be secret if we talked about them.
Touche. I think everybody can be okay with that and kind of read into it a little bit. I'm sure they're smart. Any plans for? I'm going to ask a couple easy ones because I've been hitting you with some tough stuff for a little bit. Any plans for beards on characters at all? People keep bringing up beards to me.
I mean, listen, as a furry, furry-faced dude myself, something like that would be cool, although a little weird to put on my female characters. But we're in the process of redoing redoing our face pipeline all together right now, and maybe someday down the road.
Any plans for like an auto dismantle on blue drops? No, I mean, nobody's really keeping those except for maybe one or two one-offs. a chance to just have those get filtered right into the butter churner as soon as we pick them up?
I think the real question, although, again, I'll break it to jail here. The real question is, hey, when am I going to start using greens and blues again? I think that's an interesting question, because right now we have a bunch of the colors that in fact aren't used. And so, that's my inversion of that question. Don't worry, that the thing I'm talking about is not happening this fall. But that's a real design question we ask, which is, why do we have these other colors if we're not going to use them?
What's the reasoning behind some of the blanket weapon nerfs? We have outliers, high impact fusions, 150 RPM hand cannons, 140 snipers. The entire weapon class gets punished because of one or two individuals. Is there reasoning that that's the way that that's done?
I think historically, I'll look at hand cannons because I think that they're a weapon people care a lot about. The hand cannons would all get touched. They would all get touched because of technology. And so what the team's done this year is they have broken out the hand cannon tuning by RPM, so you can touch a 150 instead of a 180, et cetera, et cetera. And so we're trying to make that better.
Regarding PvP specifically, what's the team's design philosophy behind what their current long-term PvP pursuit is, and what should we expect for PvP specifically in, I would say, both Season of the Arrivals and the next expansion?
That feels like a big question.
It is a very big question.
For us being out of time, that's a big one. We will get something in front of players this.
Perfect.
I'm committed.
How much longer do I have you for?
I really gotta pee. I got a rat, man.
All good. That's fine. Like I said before, there's a whole ton of questions here.
He didn't ask about anti-cheat.
I tried to hit as many as I could.
Didn't ask about anti-cheat.
I will give these guardians the destruction they crave.
Supers. We're gonna back at the.
We thought.
Done well. Still complete seasonal.
Whatever beyond any scene that ever use sector scene. Made Destiny halted.
We get Bungie on the Destiny cosmos.
The Almighty has been reduced to smoldering ash. And with allies like Rasputin, who can stop us?
From Titan to Mercury, their shadow reaches.
Is their message a warning? A trick? We can't know until we hear their words for ourselves. You bring weapons. You will not need them. We offer only truth.
The darkness reached out, but something interferes. The witch sister of the taken king, Savathun.
We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
Prepare yourself, Guardian. This battle is not over.
Is this update? Why isn't this updating? Why isn't this updating? My thing broken? I'm gonna hard reset my Steam. Yeah, now it's updating. Three gig update. We were watching the Q&A just now. We were just watching the Lupo Q&A. It's pretty much nothing said. Apparently people were getting timed out for typing anti-cheat in Lupo's chat. BMW while I'm streaming with two computers running on the same internet. I think Destiny understands, and I think Bungie understands that PC is going to die because of cheats, and that's just like a reality for them. Just what it is. I hate how this is like perma light mode. I'm like flashbanged right now. Can't see shit.
Stage to announce and the Hive met you head on. You buried them. But we found more than Hive on the moon. The dark has reached out. We have no choice but to reach back.
That's the new armor. I like the helmet. Yeah, PC Destiny will die. Pretty sure this is what we just watched. Pretty sure this is what we just watched. Game is auto taking me somewhere. Not entirely too sure. Okay, I'm in perma orbit. Strange disturbances.
The darkness is here. We need boots on the ground on Io. Recon. There's a pyramid. It's already disabled Rasputin. I've leaned on Eris's expertise, but we haven't been
Milestone. Investigate the disturbance.
That means Eris is our best chance at understanding what we're up against. I need her at the tower. She's too valuable an asset to. Find her, Guardian. Bring her home.
Oh, my artifact locked.
I wonder how that
New artifact. This is what this is for.
unnatural.
Artifact has locked, ladies and gentlemen.
Can you hear us? Eris. Nothing. Zavala, come in.
Any sign?
My signals are being suppressed. I can't even summon a sparrow.
What do you see?
The pyramid. It's
Oh, I didn't even notice.
oppressive. Like a storm building.
Then be quick. Get out ahead of it.
Understood.
What the fuck was that? Remember guys, if you enjoy my content and want to see me remain full-time, you fill the top daily dono bar top right in the screen. Filling that is imperative to us staying full-time for you guys.
I'm getting faint readings from Eris now.
Exclamation point tip will give you a donation link. You can use that to fill the bar.
The air down here is choking. I don't know if I can leave it back at the top. The ballast things. Toward the crane. Yeah. What is it? High upwind seating.
Oragel. I can't shade step. Is there a reason for that? It won't let me. Oh, probably because it's on my warlock bindings. Board and mouse. Class ability.
Guardian, your assistance would not be unwelcome.
We need to move.
Pussy. Why did chat die completely?
channels. Is anyone there? Eris, talk to us. Say something. Please. What is that?
I won't be playing Destiny 2 on PC when next gen consoles come out. Follow me on Twitter, man. If you don't have a Twitter, make a Twitter and follow me.
Something pulled us back in. It's keeping us from Eris.
This reminds me of that jumping puzzle.
Those are all eyes.
All my bullets said immune, but it was still getting hit. Oh, there's a... This isn't beatable. This isn't beatable.
It is nothing.
Yeah, this is new content.
This is something. A tree of silver wings. It grew from the last place the traveler touched before he left this world. The darkness was drawn here. As the hive is drawn to the darkness. These eyes of mine. The things they have seen.
What was that?
Something that does not want us here.
Darkness.
No. But it is of the darkness.
Ron with the fucking 100 bomb. My guy, fucking Ron, dude. Chat, we are so close to the Daily Dono goal. So fucking close. Thank you so much, Ron. Top D of the fucking day. Biggest wiener in the chat. Top D of the month. Let's go, baby.
We hear you,
Thank you, bro.
Have you found him?
The seed breaks through the interference.
That's huge, Ron. Thank you, bro.
Zavala.
Report back to me.
That is big dick energy, homie.
Our transmissions may be compromised.
Let's not keep him waiting, Guardian.
Not keep him waiting, Guardian. Oh, I'm getting 10-12 drops, so the power level went up again. Light level went up again, boys. I'm getting 10-12 prime drops.
What did you find?
It found me. The darkness reached out, but something interferes. Its messages to us are being defaced.
Defaced?
By the witch sister of the taken King Oryx. Savathun.
Your obsession gives her power.
No. She feeds on denial, ignorance. The Guardian has...
How do you donate? Exclamation point tip in the chat. You type that. A command will pop up. You click on the command.
If the darkness reaches out, we must reach back.
I will not sanction this.
We are beyond.
Yeah, Ron, I'll definitely be coming back to PlayStation 5. BMW with the 20 bomb top dip. Let's fucking go, baby. Daily Dono has been smashed. Good shit, boys. Thank you for the support. Ron, thank you for the support. Alex, thank you for the support. BMW, thank you guys. The triumphant trio.
Let me go, Zavala.
Hey, it's me.
According to spectral analysis, the pyramid, its propulsion, the energy it's manipulating on Io, I don't see a ship. I see a being. Paracausal in nature.
Like the Traveler.
All records of the Golden Age agree. On the first day, the sky filled with darkness. On the second, the Traveler fell.
Help Eris where you can, but be ready to deal with the enemy fleet when it arrives. We need you, Guardian.
I'm so mad we don't talk in this game. I wish I had a voice. I've been on that Warzone since last season. We'll see the new content goes. Maybe I'll at least level up my hunter. Yeah. Speak with the drift there. Bust up. I don't know, Adolfo. I'm sorry, man. I'm not on console right now. So this is the new season's pass. Error code Beaver. Buy the season's pass, error code Beaver, boys. No time to explain exotic catalyst, no time to explain exotic ornament, any other sky exotic sparrow, no time to explain exotic pulse rifle. Order. Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys season's pass rewards. All right, guys, I have a family emergency I have to take care of. Really unfucking lucky timing because I want to dive into this content really bad. Let me just check what they have. Yo, this is actually a sick looking ship. First off, this hunter bundle is not it, but it's different. What's this? Comes with the cuddle bone, the photo cycle. I want to see the Eververse content, but it's gonna fucking beaver me again. Thor. Hunter ornament for the Celestial Nighthawk. Error code Beaver. This is clean. Yeah, these ornaments are actually kind of clean, boys. Not even capping right now. Truth? Nah. Outbreak? Kind of clean. Celestial looks raw. Last Word got a new one. Oh! Last Word got a nasty ornament. Oh, baby. Wardcliff looks lit. That Last Word ornament, definitely it. That shit is definitely it. Last Word ornament is sick. Okay, so we have Risk Runner Ornament, Bad Juju, Ace of Spades, Lumina, Divinity. The Thorn Ornament is back. White one with the bone. I like this. And I use Thorn quite a bit. Bright Dust, Monte Carlo Ornament. Sure. I need to spend my Bright Dust anyway. Don't need that. No new shaders. Scarlet. Cuneiform. I'm copping this ship because I want to be one of the first people with it. That shit is clean. Copping this too, because why the fuck not? I see a shader down here. Byzantium Lotus. Definitely not it. That is not it, Bungo. Open. Open. That's clean. Alright guys, I gotta go take care of some shit. Some shit's popping off right now. That's why I keep looking down on my phone. I love you guys. Fucking huge shout outs to BMW, Ron, and Alex. Tomorrow I will be back online to get through this content and to start playing this shit with you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the Bungie stuff. Be safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, okay? I promise I'll be live tomorrow. Love you guys.